Este episodio de Word to Your Mama es patrocinado por McDonald's. Mira, no necesitamos otra razón para reunirnos en McDonald's, pero el crew siga dándonos más. Recuerdo cuando era niña. No teníamos mucho, pero de vez en cuando alguien de la escuela tenía una fiesta de cumpleaños, lo celebraban en McDonald's. Y los crew members eran parte de nuestra comunidad. Es tu gente, tu comunidad y tu relación con el crew de McDonald's lo que hace que sea tu McDonald's. Todos tenemos un McDonald's especial. ¿Cuál es el tuyo? McDonald's. Me encanta.
Hey nerds, welcome to episode 140 of The Nerd Out. I am Lisa.
I'm Rich P.
We're girls and we nerd out. You can follow us on the socials. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at The Nerd Out. You can email us, info@thenerdout.com. We have a website, thenerdout.com. We are also, as you may have noticed, available on the Word to Your Mama network. And you can find socials for Word to Your Mama at WTYM Mama, M-A-M-A.
See. And also, you know, if you're a little confused and you're listening to this on the Word to Your Mama network podcast, and she's like, episode 140, that's for us. But for Word to Your Mama, it's something else. Don't worry about it. You're in the right place.
Yeah, you're here. Don't worry about it. Just pull up a chair. I don't know. Pour yourself some iced tea. It's hot. Just listen.
Yeah. And then for the old school, the Nerd Out listeners, and you're like, what the fuck was that Spanish promo in the beginning or in the middle? It's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's cool. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. And it's episode 140. I love a nice round number.
A round number, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so T.I., I'm trying to get into a rhythm that right before we record, I know we're going to record, I asked the peeps. I love that. I tweeted out. I put an Insta story and I say, what are you currently nerding out on? And the response was HBO's Industry. So am I. Let's discuss later. Blues music / guitar solos.
Cool.
World of Warcraft.
My peeps.
And then I forgot to say the results, but we did a poll on the interwebs of different things you could nerd out on, and it looks like TV won over music at that time. That was back in June.
Ah.
Yeah.
What about movies?
Movies was third or fourth. I put a couple of things in the list, but TV, all the way. All the way across. Yeah.
I'm into TV. I get it.
Yeah, I'm into TV. So how you been? It's been a month.
It's been a month. I am recovering from pneumonia.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to be super fast with my finger on the mute button if I start coughing. So yeah, pneumonia. Never had it. First time. Who gets pneumonia in the middle of the summer? Who's under the age of 70? Me.
You.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Pneumonia.
Pneumonia, man. Luckily, It's not COVID and pneumonia.
Yeah. Although one theory as to why I have it is that I possibly had asymptomatic COVID and maybe it just settled in my lungs. And here we are.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
They didn't check me for antibodies when I went in and got my x-rays and stuff. So who knows?
Who's to say?
Yeah. That's my boss's theory.
I remember, I haven't had pneumonia as an adult, I don't think, but I used to get it all the time as a kid.
Ugh.
And I remember, and I think that's another reason why, like, going in water and just feeling restricted in my lungs in any way, I get, because I can close my eyes and see it and feel it and remember it. I'd get pneumonia. I'd have to sleep sitting up, and still couldn't breathe. I'd be like,
yes.
And then it was just off. And I was like, how was my mom not sleeping right next to me?
I know, with a mirror over your mouth.
Like she was like, okay, because I got it all the time. I was sick all the time. She's like used to it. She'll go in the other room, leave me by myself, and I'll just be like, and I was like, this is hell.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was like, this is not right. Inhalers for days and all kinds of things. So I'm glad you're doing better, T.I.
Thanks.
The people will understand if we hear some coughing. That's fine.
Yeah. Working on recovering my lung capacity. So I have been, because for a while there, for like 3 weeks, I would walk up the stairs. We've been sleeping in the basement because it is so bloody hot here. So I would walk up the stairs in the morning, and at the top of the stairs, I'd be like, all right. So I've been going on walks, and there's a hill nearby, like meandering up the hill and then back down, trying to work it out.
Bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. So what would you say you're what percentage? 80%?
Of like normal right now?
Health, like back to normal?
Yeah, 70, 80.
Got it. More C plus, a C plus.
More of a C plus than a B minus. Yeah, for sure.
Good movement, though. Good movement. Hopefully by next month, the Nerd Out will be 100. You'll be 100.
This time next month, it's going to be great.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so let's get into TV.
So many things.
So I watched Severance. I fucking devoured that shit. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I love it. And I'm super excited. I forgot to look up, when does it come? Next year?
Yeah, I know it was renewed, but I don't know when it comes back. I just that was something I think we talked about on the last when we met last. Like, I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, nah, I guess I'll just stick with it. People really like it. And then about halfway through, it's like, oh, I'm into this. And then the last 2 episodes were just an absolute out of control train. Couldn't watch it fast enough. Couldn't put it into my eyeballs fast enough.
Yeah, it was great. I can't wait for the next season. Did you finish Stranger Things?
Yes, I have finished Stranger Things.
Thoughts?
I liked it. For sure. Liked it very much. I don't know that, I feel like maybe most seasons, the first one was so great, and then the ensuing seasons, maybe I've liked it a little, still liked it, but maybe didn't love it quite as much. So I kind of feel like I'm on that trajectory still.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought it was a good conclusion. I loved that the last 2 episodes were 3 hours of television. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What did you think? Because it had just come out a day or 2 before when we met last time, and I hadn't had a chance to watch it all.
Yeah, I feel similar to you. I feel when I watch it, I love the feeling. It just reminds me of all the beautiful things that we saw as kids, like the shows and the movies, and that, just reminds you of being, it's from our time. I think that's why it feels so special. Do you know what I'm saying? The music alone, I was like, yes, please believe it. Just living in that time, and where we could be out all day and all night on our bikes, and then having these adventures and stuff like that. So the nostalgia of it is, I think, what keeps me going. Yeah. There's some parts where I was like, am I the only one? I was asking friends, and then I was asking my rib about it. She felt the same way. I go, this one part, we'll talk about it later, but because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I was like, this part it took a little turn. It seems a little Cornsville. I know it's all make-believe, but I was like, I don't know about this right here.
Can you give me a hint? Keyword?
One.
Okay, got it. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And I was like, really? But I'm there, and I'll watch it, and I mean, you got Winona Ryder, come on, she's a classic, and I'll rock. And then how fucking good does Homeboy look, being all skinny and shaved head?
Yeah, David Balfour. Yeah.
Fuck I was like, ugh, he looks so good.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Oh, muties. While she's having her
Okay.
coffee. Okay, all right. This is the pneumonia episode. So yeah, so he looks amazing.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, we have to wait till 2024.
And that's the last one, at least with these people, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I heard that they're going to be doing something with like the same universe, maybe some of the same people, but not all of them.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So I just want to mention 4 shows real quick that I'm all about, and if you I talk about them before, and some are new. P Valley, P as in Pussy Valley. It's on Stars. We haven't seen season 2 because of the pandemic. It just came out. It's almost over, and I'm sad about it, and I fucking love it. And it is set in Mississippi, Tennessee. Strippers. It is so fucking good.
Is it really?
I love it so much. Some of the acting is like, are you kidding me? And the music's on point. And just at both seasons, but season 2 opening, I was just like, how did they find this talent of women that are even better than last season with their athleticism on the pole? It boggles my mind that they have the arm strength and the leg strength to do what they do. And now it's next level. And the music's on point too. So that's P Valley.
P Valley. Okay.
So on Eric, the vampires, Sookie.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
True Blood. True Blood.
So True Blood, R.I.P. to who passed away. I can't think of his name. The black guy who was, you know what I'm saying? That was the guy, I can't think of his name right now for some reason. He was the cook, and he was
yes. Lafayette.
So the owner of the strip place, he is in a similar type of role where, you know, he's kind of motherly and takes care of people, but he's on point and he tells you how it is, and he has his own drop, and so that feels great. It's like a hug the way he is. And then have you seen Loot? Did we talk about Loot with Maya Rudolph?
No, I saw the ads for it on Apple TV, but I was sort of like, meh.
No. It's a yes. It's a yes.
Okay.
It's a yes. It's like how Abbott, Kenny, and Ted Lasso are hugs. This is like a funnier hug. It's like a funnier hug. You know, the 30 minutes. And it's also like, you know, set in different parts of LA, and, you know, the gist of it is she's a billionaire. She married like, you know, fucking Bezos type of guy, tech guy, like, you know, maybe a Bill Gates type of guy. And she like helped him and brought him up. And then she finds out that he cheated on her, so they divorce. And then she's a billionaire trying to find her way and her own identity, and then people that she encounters and stuff. So Loot. I highly recommend. And then now Reservation Dogs are back.
Couldn't be more excited about this one.
Right? So good. So that's back. And then last but not least, Rap Shit on HBO as well. That is Issa Rae's new show based in Miami.
That's her. Okay.
Yeah, based in Miami. 2 girls. One is a little bit more nerdy and more, you know, like woke and stuff. And then another one, she's an ex-stripper mom that's trying to make good, and they team up and they try to do this rap shit. And it's great so far. Some hilarious moments. And like I said, it's really short, and I recommend.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of that and listened to a really interesting podcast about like women and rap, and they were talking a lot about it. And I was like, oh, maybe that's interesting. But I couldn't tell based on this podcast. I was like, is this a documentary? Like, what are they talking about?
No.
Okay. It is a
not
drama.
at all. Yeah. It's a dramedy. So yeah, it's I think it's worth anyone's while. Okay. So what about you?
Well, question for you.
See,
which of these is Ranger Ted going to like?
Well, you guys are already hip to Reservation Dogs.
He loves Reservation Dogs 10 times more than I do, and I love it.
Out of the things I mentioned for Ranger Ted, I think maybe, but out of them all, maybe Loot.
Okay.
Maybe Loot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I think he will enjoy P-Valley for the visuals and the athleticism these women bring, if you know what I'm spraying. But, on P-Valley, let me say something. There's an actor that's on there that plays like, someone that is a rapper that can't be out. And he's himself is straight. The actor is straight. And they do the sex scenes in a loving, some raw ways and then some like really loving ways. And for me, they're showing, same sex scenes in a great way, in a loving way. And he's one of the ones that I'm like, fuck, he's acting like the glory tier, he's acting. And so it's great. So yeah, just some sex scenes. It's, pretty close to showing everything.
Okay.
It's enjoyable that way. So yeah, let us know if Ranger Ted gives any of those a try. I'm interested in seeing his thoughts. Like, hell no, or, oh yeah, maybe.
All right. Good to know. More TV shows that we can start and then he abandons and I have to figure out how to finish watching the rest of. Thanks, Fitzy.
My pleasure.
Yeah. A couple of things we've been watching over here. The Old Man with Jeff Bridges.
Oh, I heard about it.
And it is on Hulu, I think.
I believe it to be true.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's like it's not many episodes, 6 or 7. It is I almost don't want to tell you anything because we were pleasantly surprised on the first, because we were like, what is this? And someone was like, it's just really good. And we're like, all right. And I remember reading an interview where he said that he had been offered a zillion times to do television, and he was like, and just never really found something. And this one, he was like, oh yeah, this is really interesting. And it also has John Lithgow in it.
Oh, love him.
And I don't know how to pronounce her name exactly. Elia Shawkat, who is in Arrested Development, cousin maybe. You've seen Arrested Development, right?
No, we talked about this. I have not.
How can do I just block this from my mind?
You do every time. This is not the first time, second, or maybe not even third time.
What are you waiting for?
I got things to do. I got other shows to watch.
No, you don't.
I feel like I'm so far removed that it's an event for me to go back and start it. I know.
I wish you guys could see the look on my face right now.
She's not only she's disgusted, she's disgusted.
Yeah, I'm pretty disgusted. All right. Well, maybe now I need to go promptly block that from mind. But The Old Man, good, action packed, really well done.
Okay.
Like good times. Yeah.
I'm going to add it to my list. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Cause it's something I was like, I don't know. The Old Man, that sounds pretty dull. And it was renewed for a second season. So it will be coming back for a second season. I've sort of chipped away at Ms. Marvel. Mm-hmm. Did you end up watching any of that?
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Cox sabe que tu familia no para. Por eso ofrecen nuevos paquetes de Internet que te brindan la misma velocidad y flexibilidad que esperas de Cox. Además, Panoramic Wi-Fi está incluido en algunos planes sin costo adicional. Es Internet que sigue tu ritmo. Todo sin contrato anual, que significa que no hay molestos cargos por terminación anticipada. Desconéctate de tu rutina, pero no de tu Wi-Fi cuando estás fuera de casa. Cox te da acceso a más de 3 millones de hotspots de Wi-Fi. Después de un largo día, reúnen la familia para una noche de películas con Contour Stream Player. Disfruta de deportes en vivo, tus programas favoritos en Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus y más con apps de streaming populares. Conoce más en cox.com/español. Here's a question. What have you always wanted to try? It could be something small, like trying a new dish, or something big, like trying a completely new career path. What about trying something to ignite new passions or rekindle old ones? Even though I was part of other podcasts before, I've always wanted to try hosting my own, hence Word to Your Mama. You're listening to it right now. It's been one of the best new things I have tried. I get to share some amazing, diverse voices from all walks of life with the world, and that just fills my soul with good vibes. So think about it. What have you always wanted to try? Anything is possible when you set your mind to try something else. Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea is here to unleash your thirst for trying. So take this as your sign to say yes. Opt in. Go for it. Because trying is what life is all about. Try Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea and then try something else. We were going to start, and then we went on trips, and then now I'm leaving. So I've decided that we're not going to start it till I get back.
Okay. I'm curious to hear. I mean, it's really for like the supernatural bear more than it's for me, I think. So I'm curious to hear what he thinks about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe next month we'll be a couple of episodes in.
Okay. And I talk about slowly chipping away. I'm also slowly chipping away at like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I still have...
Oh, you haven't finished?
I still have the second half of the finale to finish.
Okay.
I found it dry. Except for maybe the episodes improved greatly. One over the other. Yeah. And like, especially when like finally Obi-Wan Kenobi is kicking some ass.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, it just took a little too long to get there for me. And I was like the villain I think is interesting, but not that interesting. Like she doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you for sure.
The other thing that we have been watching and enjoying very much is called For All Mankind. It is on Apple. It is and I had never heard anything about this until like I randomly stumbled across it and was like, oh, and I can't believe that this is flying so far under the radar, but nobody that I know has talked about this at all.
Is that the prison one?
No, it is astronauts. Oh. It takes place in like, it's sort of like, what if in the space race, like to the moon, to orbit, to whatever in the like 50s and 60s, what if we were not the first people to the moon? And what if like the space race went on like full tilt? Oh. And it's sort of like an alternate history. Oh. So like we're in the early 70s now, and there are like, what if women were astronauts? What if Ted Kennedy was the president? What if what if we're like on the moon, and what if there's a base there? And like there's all these sort of so it's sort of like an astronaut space opera a little bit, but it's really good. The producer and showrunner is Ron Moore, who did Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, like a bunch of stuff that I love. It seems a little different from him, although the man loves space, clearly.
I was going to say, that's in his wheelhouse. That's his environment.
He does like the space. And like one thing that I've always really liked about him is that he also creates really interesting roles for women. And so like there's some like really great well-rounded, like not mailed in women astronauts and wives, and like the men are really super interesting guys, and like the whole thing is great. We have been enjoying it very much. I think like the first couple episodes are like, this is fine. And then it's like gotten better and better. And I saw somebody mention it on Reddit finally. And a bunch of people were like, oh my God, season 2 is so great. And season 3 makes season 2 look like they phoned it in.
Oh shit, there's 3 seasons already?
Yes, it's in season 3.
Shit.
Somebody's watching it, but I don't know who.
I've never heard of it till you just said it right now.
I know. I've never heard of it.
I've seen, you know, when I just joined to watch Severance, I would see the things, the space things, and I was like, I don't need another space show. Let me keep it moving. So can't even register the name, but I remember seeing like a space thing. I was like, I'm cool.
3rd season. And
3rd season.
And people were like losing their minds on Reddit. They were like, holy shit, the first episode of season 3 was like a finale cliffhanger episode. It was so fucking good.
What? I'm gonna have to add this shit.
I know. For all mankind. Who knew? Space, families, science, technology.
What ifs,
what ifs, fantasy, sci-fi. Like, it's great.
I wonder if he just has from jump or recently just had always put a lot of, you know, maybe it's female heavy writer's room, and that's why the women are so well written, because you got to understand them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like one of the things that I loved, and anyone who watched Battlestar Galactica would love, is like he took Starbuck, who in the original Battlestar Galactica was this swaggering, cigar chomping, macho womanizing, like, you know, hey there, honey, what's going on? You know, that guy.
Yeah.
And turned Starbuck into like a scrappy young woman who smoked cigars and swaggered around and fucked whoever she wanted. And people lost their fucking minds, not in a good way. People lost it. The guy who played it in the original series, like he had a whole like fanboy campaign of like, they totally cut off Starbucks balls. It's like, oh yeah, new Starbucks could have kicked your ass, you old motherfucker. So like I think that he enjoys kind of playing with things like that. And like Starbuck was so fun. She was half of what made Battlestar Galactica so great. So yeah, for all mankind.
For all mankind. I'm gonna add it to my list.
Who knew?
Thank you, T.I. Any other shows?
Yes. I don't know if anybody here has noticed this, but there's a little show called The House of the Dragon that's coming soon.
Yeah, when does that come out?
That would be August 21st, I think.
Yeah, are we watching it?
Yeah, we're watching it. Don't pretend like you're not watching it. All of you like, fuck, Game of Thrones is dead to me. Like, oh no, it's not dead to you. You're gonna watch it, you little
I know,
bitch.
I'm gonna watch it. You're right. You're absolutely right. I've been thinking about it. I was like, it's coming up soon. Am I gonna watch it?
I'll tell you what I might not do. I might not watch. No, I'll probably do that too. I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll save up the first 2 episodes and just enjoy watching them back to back.
Yeah.
But maybe I want to be part of the zeitgeist. I'm gonna watch it when it comes out, and then I'm gonna go online, and then I'm gonna see what people say.
If time permits, I will watch it live with you. If not, then maybe I'll do 2, and then maybe save it for like the weekend. Do we know what day it comes out? What day of the week it comes out?
No, but I can look at that really quickly.
Are they going to do it like Sundays again? What was Game of Thrones was Sundays, right?
Game of Thrones was Sundays, and I would be shocked if they were going to move it. I feel like that's the day. Pulling up the old calendar. Yes, 21st is a Sunday. Sunday. And then that can also be perhaps a bridge to books, because it is based on, like, never fear, people, this book is already written. It's based on...
That makes us feel better. So much better.
It's based on a book called Fire and Blood that is kind of like a history of the Targaryens in Westeros.
So we went from the show to Fire and Blood to the book called Fire and Blood that has.
So the show is House of the Dragon.
Yeah. But we just went talking from Fire and Blood, and then you said House of the Dragon, and then the book is called Fire and Blood?
Yes. So the TV show is called House of the Dragon. The book is called Fire and Blood. The book, Fire and Blood, is about the Targaryens in Westeros. So it's all about like Aegon the Conqueror, who showed up with his two sisters that he was married to.
Right.
And they had dragons and they took over everything. And then like their family and everything in Fire and Blood takes place like hundreds of years, not a whole lot of hundreds, maybe 400 years before what we watched in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
So it's sort of just like a history of the Targaryens and when they came to Westeros and who they were and all that.
That's fascinating.
And it's written like a history book. It's a little dry like a history book, but it's a good read. And there's so much detail. Like this dude, if he focused a little less on the obscure details about which bannermen of the houses died from like a plague that went through Westeros in the year after whatever 57. Like, I'm like, dude, nobody cares. Go write your book about Game of Thrones, because it's all like, in the winter of whatever, then the disease came to the Riverlands and it killed these people and this person's wife was left alive, but then their bannermen so and so and so and so. I was like, stop it, go write your book. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's about how the Targaryens they were a little more progressive about letting women rule, but not that much more progressive. Oh. And so this is about a struggle between a queen and a wannabe queen and a wannabe king who are related, but who's the person who should be on the throne?
Nice. Yeah, we're watching that shit.
Watch and find out. Yeah.
We'll watch and find out for sure. Any other TV shows?
No. That's a lot.
That is a lot. And I didn't even mention, we didn't even get into, but we'll have a link to the Emmy nominations. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize those were out until I looked at this outline and saw that you linked them there. So thank you.
They're out and it's all the great. I'm going to say that this could be a tough race because it's like, the usual greats, and then there's some whatevers. This is like all fucking greats. It's quality TV time, kids. And a lot of them were nominated. So they're in a lot of the same categories, and we'll see what's what. Let's go into movies. I wanted to mention last month on the Nerd Out, we discussed, we both wanted to see, what's his name's Neptune Frost movie.
Yes. I
haven't watched it yet, but when I was doing a deep dive, the producers are Ezra Miller, not a good look, but they're not really advertising that. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, which in some circles is also not a good look.
Why is it not a good look?
Because what him and his dad, some of the politics that they're involved with and stuff that. Yeah, it's been a long time thing for some circles. And so I was like, you can get away with Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like it looks good. It looks good, right? For most people. But Ezra Miller, on no account does that look good. But it's also interesting that he produced, that helped, these names helped. So I thought it was fascinating. I was like, I got to for sure mention it. Did you have any time to watch Good Luck to You, Rio Grande?
No, it's still on the list, but we did not watch it.
No problem. There's plenty of time. We could discuss later. I'm super interested in what you thought of that.
Okay. No, I definitely want to watch it, and I added it to my watch list because I was thinking, as you know, I go through phases when I'm like, I need to get rid of this channel.
Yeah.
And right now, Hulu's on the chopping block. So, and I think that's on Hulu, right?
The movie, I believe it to be true. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course, now you just mentioned P-Valley, and I think that P-Valley is
that's on Stars.
Hulu.
No.
Oh.
It's on Stars.
Okay.
Like, That's the only time for Vida and for P Valley are the only times I've ever put money for a streaming. But right now, actually, I'm on my friends
Okay, smart.
because we're both on it just for P Valley. That's it. She's the only other person I know that watches P Valley.
Yeah, I mean, I got what is it, Paramount Plus, and just so that we could watch the newest Star Trek, and then I was all, peace out, 1 month. That's all. That's all you're getting from me, Paramount. There's nothing else on here I want to watch.
They're on Stars though. There's other shows. I'm like, but the one show that kind of looks interesting and up my alley, it premieres in September. It's called The Serpent Queen. It's Catherine de Medici is the Serpent Queen.
That sounds interesting.
And the actors look, top-notch quality. And I was like, well, maybe we'll see.
I just thought when I mentioned Hulu that there was actually something that, that like once I start something, I usually finish it because I just have to.
The completion,
I started something and I'm not going to finish it. That was on Paramount Plus, and that was 1883. It is like, I've heard people telling me like, oh, Yellowstone's so great. It seems like a soap opera, and that's fine because I like soap opera, so that's okay. But 1883 is the prequel that like stars somebody like who's, I don't know, part of the family or grows up or whatever. And it's a story about moving a bunch of people from like immigrants and a family from Texas to like Oregon, Wyoming.
Oh, has Sam in it that we were talking about earlier because it said all that fuck shit. Oh, got it. Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. Yeah.
And so we watched the first couple episodes, and then Ranger Ted was out, and then I was like, no, I'm going to stay with it. And I watched another 2 episodes, and then I was like, no, you know what? This is just sad. Everything here is so fucking sad. Every episode is so fucking sad.
You don't need it.
I don't need it. I don't need that in my life. And Ted was like, well, yeah, but, things were really sad and hard back then. I was like, I don't need a reminder of it. I'm done. It's like when I was a kid, one of my friend's parents referred to Little House on the Prairie as blind children in a snowstorm. And that's what I felt like I was watching with 1883. I was like, every episode's fucking blind children in a snowstorm. It's like sad. And you're like, oh my God, this is awful.
That makes sense, T.I., especially the years that we've had. We don't need that. If it's not bringing us joy, no.
Yeah.
In some way, yeah.
So anyhow, if anyone out there, if you're into 1883, God bless you, and I hope you're in therapy. The only movie that I think that I have watched, I actually saw in the movie theater, and that was the latest Thor movie.
And how was that? Because it's been a little lackluster response.
It was mixed. I hate, to me, Thor Ragnarok was so fucking good, and the kind of the unexpected humor and self-referentialness and all of that was great. This was way too self-referential. It was way too okay, so I find that what is it? What We Do in the Shadows. What's the other one with the 2 singer-songwriters in New Zealand?
Flight of the Conchords.
All of that. All of the Waititi stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't really feel it. Ever. And it's funny, I guess. And I thought that mixing him with Thor and Thor Ragnarok was kind of funny and unexpected. And I liked that. Yeah. But this was so many joke after joke after joke after joke and after dad joke after dad joke after dad joke. And it's the mighty Thor is a fucking badass. Yeah. And I want to see him swinging Mjolnir or whatever fucking weapon he's got on hand and calling down lightning and his eyes glowing and fucking shit up. And there just was not nearly enough of that in this.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was good, but I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, I figured, since nobody was raving about it and everyone was kind of saying similar things, I can wait for it to come home to, be on streams.
Yeah, you
I'm
can wait.
good.
You
Yeah.
can wait. But then the one thing that I am really excited, and this is why I haven't gotten rid of Hulu yet, and that is Prey.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
We're going to watch it this weekend.
Oh, nice. So we could definitely talk about it. I'll watch it hopefully by next month's episode recording.
Yes.
For
yes.
sure. Yeah.
You better.
And also like that it's you can watch it in Comanche.
Yes. Yeah. So cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I saw also it's like the biggest movie numbers that Hulu has ever had and got good reviews. So like I'm really glad to see something like that getting accolades. And I also think, and I wish that I could take all of the credit for this, but like people on Reddit are they're talking about like, please let this be the first in a series of Predator movies in like historic situations and environments.
Oh, that'd be
like,
rad.
Predator against samurai. Predator against like in the trenches of World War I. Predator,
or like Mongols or some shit.
Yes, the Mongolian horde. Like, come on, I want all of it.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. So here's to hoping.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. So what are we thinking? Do we dive into books? More books? I
can give. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes. 5 minutes for books.
Yeah.
As we know, I'm reading Fire and Blood. So my goal is to get it read before I watch the first episode. I'm a little more than halfway through. It's doable. The other thing that I read that I wanted to recommend because I thought that maybe some people would like it, and it's still summer because it's a real summery read, is State of Terror, which is a political thriller co-written by Hillary Clinton and a friend of hers who is like, she writes sort of murdery mysteries. And it was a really enjoyable political thriller about like dirty nuclear bombs and terrorism. And it was, if you like politics, then you will enjoy this. I like politics and I find it very interesting. And so like you're reading stuff and you're like, oh shit, is this how this really works? Like, and it's like, since Hillary Clinton was involved, that all of these things are like plausible and probably things like glimpses behind the curtain of being the Secretary of State. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good like page turner beach read. So if you're into that, check that out. And the other thing that I just finished by Larry McMurtry is The Last Picture Show. And
wasn't that a movie? No.
Yes, it was a movie with Sybil Shepherd and Lloyd Bridges.
One of the bridges.
Yeah. And it was directed by Robert Altman in like the 70s. And I think it was like one of Sybil Shepherd's first things. Anyhow, it is a book about coming of age in a small Texas town. Read it for book club. It is an incredibly polarizing book club read. 2 of the people or 3 of the people in book club hate it and can't believe I chose it. Whoa. And another couple of us have enjoyed it very much.
Wow.
How about that? Last Picture Show, guys.
Controversy at the book club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's good. A lot of it was like these people suck and are mean to people who are differently abled and women. And I'm like, I know, but that's the point.
See.
And I do think like this is one of Ranger Ted's favorite books. And he's been leading on me to read it forever. So I was like, all right, fine. And as he says, the female characters are the most interesting ones in the book and they really carry it. And he's right. Like I think it's a really interesting snapshot of like small town Texas in the 50s.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. And also that it was, controversial.
Yes, controversial. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, and somebody in my book club commented and was like, Lisa, no. That was all she said.
Wow. Hilarious.
What about you? What are you reading?
I'm not reading anything, but I've been trying to read this book that it's one of the most anticipated book releases of the year via Time and all these different. Yeah, it's The Man Who Could Move Clouds by Ingrid Rojas Contreras. And I read a snippet of it, or a snippet of it was released, I think, last year maybe, or early this year, and I was like, yes, it's like a memoir, and there's some people in her family that just have like these extra skills, extra, little, like in real life, as a lot of immigrants do. There's like, they're more in tune with certain things, and she writes so beautifully. And there's a quote that I took from just the snippet, and I have friends of ours who have read it. They got a early an art copy of it, and they said it's definitely everything we wanted it to be. It's a small little piece. It says neither native or Spanish, but a wound. Yeah. So I'm excited to read it. And I have the hard copy. I'm not listening to it. I want to actually read it. And I just haven't had any time. So maybe on this plane ride, perhaps I can do such things. Yeah. So that's it. That's what I got.
Do you want to talk about what's at the end of your plane ride that you're taking?
Oh, see, as mentioned before, maybe a couple episodes ago, Hola Metaverso is Hola Metaverso Bogota, Colombia. And I will be there for a week to set up and to have the event. It's August 26th to the 28th. If anyone's interested in going, or has anyone there that's interested in going, DM me. I got discount codes, and it's educational community building event regarding Web3. Colombia is one of the top 3 Latin American countries that's really embracing Web3. So yeah, it should be interesting. I've never been. It's like a 7-hour plane ride direct, and so I'll take it with me, and maybe that's when I'll read it.
It seems like a good fit.
Yes. So yeah, anything else, T.I.?
No, that is everything in my life.
So next episode, next month's episode, you're going to be minimum 95% an A.
Yes.
With
Health-wise.
With the pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yes. And then hopefully we'll continue to talk about all the good shit. And as always, if you have any questions, any comments, hit us up. We're here. All right. Anything else that's cool?
I'm cool.
Okay. Yeah, of course you're cool, T.I.
We're all cool.
All right then. Peace out, nerds.